My stepmother destroyed my late mother's precious wedding dress that I had saved for my own big day, and when she asked to use my coastal home for her anniversary party, I let her, without warning her about the massive sewage disaster waiting to erupt, which turned her dream celebration into a humiliating nightmare in front of all her friends. My stepmother unintentionally ruined my late mother's bridal gown, which I was keeping for my own wedding. When she requested to use my coastal property for her anniversary, I agreed, then neglected to mention the sewage issue I was aware of. Her ideal celebration literally ended up being filled with it. My mother passed away from cancer when I was 16. Before she left us, she made my Aunt Madeline promise to safeguard her wedding dress for me. It was a stunning vintage garment from the early 90s, featuring delicate lace and tiny pearls she had sewn by hand. I have one picture on my phone of her spinning in it, looking incredibly joyful. That image has been my phone's background for years. Every time I see it, I recall her saying some things are crafted with love, and you can sense it in every detail. She spent 6 months attaching those pearls, one by one, while watching reruns of Friends on our old VHS player. My father married Samantha 3 years after Mom's death. Well, let's just say she consistently tries too hard to appear as the flawless wife and mother, often emphasizing how much more accomplished she is than my mother was. She loves posting these carefully staged family photos on her Instagram, usually with captions about blended family blessings and being a bonus mom, even though I've repeatedly expressed discomfort with that term. Last Thanksgiving, she even created a TikTok about healing fractured families, using our pictures without seeking permission. I discovered it when my college roommate forwarded me the link. Last month, I got engaged to Levi. When I shared the news with the family, Samantha immediately began mapping out our wedding on her Pinterest boards, despite my clear desire for a small, intimate ceremony. She developed an entire board called Contemporary Bride, Modern Life, and shared it with everyone in her Facebook mom group. But whatever, I could manage that. What I couldn't tolerate was her next move. The dress was being kept at my mother's closest friend Ivy's house, carefully preserved in one of those specialized storage containers. Yesterday, Samantha offered to assist by collecting the dress since she was in the vicinity and bringing it to my place. I was on a video call with my best friend Natalie when Samantha arrived, carrying the box as if it were a grocery bag. She placed it on my kitchen counter, right beside an uncorked bottle of red wine. I remember finding that odd, as Samantha never drinks red wine. She always insists on white, claiming it's cleaner. Then she insisted on opening the box right there, even though I suggested we should wait and do it properly with my aunt present. You can likely anticipate what unfolded next. As she was inadvertently pulling the gown out, her elbow somehow struck the wine bottle. The entire contents spilled directly onto the dress. But here's the crucial part. Her reaction truly struck me. She didn't panic. She didn't rush to dab or clean it. She simply stood there for a moment with this peculiar little smirk before commencing her dramatic, "oh no" display. It brought to mind those poor acting videos on YouTube, where people fake reactions for insurance cons. I was still on FaceTime with Natalie, who witnessed the whole incident. Natalie insists she saw Samantha's hand shift towards the wine bottle just before it toppled, but the video quality wasn't sharp enough to be entirely certain. Natalie immediately began recording her screen, though, because she felt something was amiss. I phoned my dad, weeping, and his response was typical. "Darling, it was just an accident. Samantha feels terrible. We can get you any dress you wish." He doesn't grasp that it isn't about the dress itself. It's about the final tangible piece of my mother I possessed for my wedding day. This morning, Samantha had the audacity to send me a link to a $300 dress from David's bridal with a message, "This would actually look much better on you anyway." Then she posted a lengthy Facebook update about how accidents happen for a reason, and sometimes we must release the past to embrace the new. She tagged me in it, but I blocked her before I could see the comments. Then she had the nerve to ask if she and Dad could use my beach cottage for their anniversary celebration next month. She knows it's the only asset I inherited from my mother's side of the family. It's this small house on the coast that my mom's parents left me, and Samantha has been trying to persuade me to sell it ever since she married Dad. She even had a real estate agent accidentally list it online once. I told her, of course, certainly, with a smile I knew would impress her, because what Samantha doesn't realize is that I received a call from my handyman, Joseph, last week about a severe sewage problem that requires repair. He sent me pictures and detailed messages on WhatsApp illustrating the issues. I just haven't had the time to address it yet, and honestly, I might be too occupied to mention it to her before her grand party. She's already posting about her perfect beach house anniversary on Instagram, complete with rented furniture and a hired photographer. First update. Thank you, everyone, for the encouragement on my previous post. It truly helped me navigate the last few days. I've been reluctant to share this update because I wanted to be absolutely positive about what I uncovered. So, here's what's transpired since then. After my last post, Ivy, my mom's friend who was storing the dress, called me, sounding quite uneasy. She said she had been reviewing her Ring doorbell footage from that day because something had been unsettling her. It turns out Samantha didn't just show up once to collect the dress. The camera captured her driving by Ivy's house around 8:30 a.m., circling the block twice. Ivy only noticed because her neighbor had texted her about a car moving slowly past their residences. She didn't dwell on it at the time. When Samantha returned at 2:30 p.m. for the actual pickup, she carried a Target bag. I realize it isn't definitive proof of anything, but watching her meticulously transfer something from the bag to her purse before ringing the doorbell just feels odd. The more I review it, the more deliberate everything appears. My stepsister Eva has been sending me small pieces of information, but she's wary of getting too involved. She mentioned that Samantha had been unusually preoccupied with my engagement news, spending hours on wedding planning websites even before I said anything about wanting to wear mom's dress. I wasn't going to act on my suspicions until I met my Aunt Madeline for coffee yesterday. She brought Dad's old laptop, which she'd borrowed to prepare their taxes. She's been assisting them with financial matters since Mom passed. She wanted to show me something she discovered while organizing their receipts. There was a Target purchase from the early morning of the incident. The items listed were a bottle of red wine, the precise brand that was spilled, some cleaning products, and one of those plastic drop cloths people use for painting. Samantha typically only buys white wine. She's always complaining about how red wine stains her costly veneers. The receipt timestamp was 6:45 a.m. When I showed Dad the Target receipt, he grew very quiet, not angry, just quiet. He kept gently rubbing his wedding ring, his first wedding ring, the one he still wears on his right hand. Finally, he admitted, I didn't want to acknowledge it before, but there's been a pattern. I also have the screen recording Natalie captured during our FaceTime call, but the video quality is too poor to conclusively prove anything. Still, I'm keeping it along with all the other documentation. He recounted how last year's accidental donation of Mom's cookbooks wasn't so accidental. He'd found them in the garage, boxed up and labeled for donation weeks before Samantha claimed she mistakenly included them in the charity pickup. He didn't say anything at the time because he thought perhaps I wouldn't notice they were gone. The conversation with Dad was difficult. He didn't weep or make dramatic promises. He just sat there, looking at his hands, and said, I really messed up, didn't I? I let her do this. It was more impactful than if he'd been enraged or emotional. Meanwhile, Samantha has been behaving as if nothing happened. She continues to send me links to new dresses, each one with a message about how it would be so much more you than my mother's outdated gown. The house matter still looms over everything. She's already created a Facebook event for their anniversary party. 35 people have confirmed attending so far, with more RSVPs still coming in. She keeps posting about her ideal beach retreat and tagging party rental companies in her Instagram stories. Yesterday, she sent me a lengthy text about table arrangements and inquired if the house has enough restrooms for all the guests. I still haven't mentioned what Joseph, the handyman, informed me about the septic system. The video he sent me last week shows it's actually deteriorating. You can see water backing up in the yard after it rains. He mentioned it needs repairs before any large gatherings, but I just keep forgetting to bring it up whenever Samantha calls. Eva has been staying at her friend's house more often. She says the atmosphere at home is becoming strange. Samantha has been unusually kind to her, buying her expensive gifts from Amazon and offering to take her on a spa day. Eva suspects she's trying to keep her silent about something, but she's not sure what. The dress preservation specialist finally responded to me today. They indicated the wine stain was remarkably concentrated in one area, as if it had been poured rather than simply spilled. They also observed some minor snags in the lace that occurred before the wine incident, probably from someone handling the dress roughly while it was still in the preservation box. I've been examining that last photograph I have of Mom in the dress. There's a tiny pearl detail on the sleeve that she used to say took her 3 evenings to stitch on while watching old episodes of Seinfeld. That section is entirely dissolved now from the wine. It feels deliberate, you know? Edit. Many of you are asking what I intend to do about the beach house party. Honestly, I'm just going to let events unfold naturally. The septic system is what it is. Edit 2. For those inquiring about the dress, yes, I'm retaining all the specialist documentation. No, I am not pursuing legal action. Some situations have a way of resolving themselves. Edit 3. Dad just texted, asking to come over tomorrow. He says he found some old photographs of Mom he wants me to have. Perhaps he's finally prepared to genuinely discuss everything. Second update. Thank you for all the messages checking in. A lot has occurred this week, and I wanted to inform you all about the beach house situation. So, here's the current state of affairs. Samantha is planning what she persistently calls an intimate gathering, though her guest list has somehow swelled to 35 people. She texted me this morning inquiring about parking. How many cars can fit in the driveway? And the bathroom setup. There are 2 bathrooms, right? That should be enough. I keep thinking about bringing up the septic system. Joseph, my regular handyman, sent me another text yesterday with a picture of the backyard after the rain. You can see water accumulating in places it shouldn't, and he said the odor is becoming noticeable. His exact text, "Hey, wanted to follow up about that septic estimate. Really needs addressing before any big gatherings. Getting worse with the rain." Joseph clarified that while the septic system has ongoing problems, the issues become far more apparent during rainfall and would definitely be catastrophic with heavy usage from a large gathering. Dad dropped by yesterday. He's been subdued since everything with the dress, spending more time at the house he shared with Mom before Samantha. He sat at my kitchen counter, looking through some old beach house photos he found in a drawer. "Remember when the shower broke that one summer?" he said. "Your mom made us all use the outdoor hose for 2 days. She said it was camping." Then he got this expression on his face and asked, "Should I be concerned about anything with the house for the party?" I simply shrugged and replied that everything was fine. He studied me for a minute, then nodded slowly. I think he suspects something but isn't asking directly. Eva's been texting me updates about Samantha's preparations. Nothing out of the ordinary, just standard party items. She ordered some decorations from Amazon, string lights, some beach-themed centerpieces, and she's having the event catered by a local deli. Eva sent me a photo of all the party supplies spread out on their dining room table. "Mom's actually being kind of normal about this," she wrote. "Almost makes me feel bad about what might happen." Almost. The unusual part is how Samantha has been acting towards me lately. She's trying exceptionally hard to be pleasant, sending casual texts about the party plans, asking my thoughts on minor details as if she's including me. Yesterday, she even sent a message saying she hoped I'd be there to celebrate with them. It would almost feel sincere if I couldn't still recall that slight smile when she spilled the wine on Mom's dress. I did check out her Facebook page through Eva's account, since she blocked me after the dress incident. She's keeping it quite subdued, just a few posts about anticipating a beautiful celebration with some beach emojis. Nothing too extravagant, which actually makes me more suspicious. Joseph sent another update this morning. The septic company provided him an estimate for repairs. It's costly, but that's not even the primary issue. They said it needs immediate attention, particularly with heavy use. He forwarded me a photo showing where the ground is starting to sink slightly near the tank. His message was quite direct. "This is going to be a problem with 30-plus people." I keep picking up my phone to caution Samantha, but then I remember little things, like how she accidentally donated Mom's cookbooks last year, or how Mom's jewelry frequently vanishes whenever Samantha reorganizes things, or that satisfied look when the wine spilled precisely where it would inflict the most harm to Mom's dress. Eva came over for coffee this morning. She was helping Samantha pack supplies for the party and discovered the receipt for that bottle of red wine in Samantha's purse. "You know what's weird?" she said. "Mom never drinks red wine. Says it stains her teeth. But she specifically bought that bottle the morning before going to get the dress." The party is this Saturday. Samantha texted, asking if I could leave the key under the mat on Friday so they can set up early. She wants to arrange the furniture and set up a drink station near the downstairs bathroom. I replied with a simple, "Sure, no problem," and silenced my notifications. The septic issue isn't my fault. I didn't break it. I didn't make it worse. It's just unfortunate timing that it's happening now. At least, that's what I keep telling myself. Edit. Eva just sent a photo of Samantha's party attire. It's all white because of course it is. Third update. So, the beach house party took place yesterday, and it unfolded exactly as anticipated, although the aftermath is proving more intense than I expected. I drove by around noon as guests were arriving. Classic arrangement. White chairs, flowers, catering tables. Samantha was in this expensive white dress, directing people where to place items. The trouble began gradually. Eva texted around 1:30 p.m. "Bad smell in the backyard. Mom's getting annoyed." Then, "Downstairs toilet won't flush properly." By 2 p.m., both restrooms were experiencing difficulties. People kept inquiring about the smell, but Samantha was still attempting to maintain control, assuring everyone it was likely just low tide. Around 2:30 p.m., my neighbor called, "There's something wrong with your yard. Water's coming up everywhere." Eva's texts became more frequent. "The ground's getting really soft." Mom's freaking out at the catering staff because people keep asking to use their van's bathroom. Then everything collapsed during their toast. The ground was so saturated that a section of the deck area subsided, not dramatically, but enough to destabilize the buffet table. Their anniversary cake ended up sliding directly into the muck. That's when Samantha stepped into what she believed was merely wet grass and sank ankle-deep in it, in her white dress, in front of her entire social circle. People began departing quite rapidly after that, not in a panic, but with that awkward, "Oh, would you look at the time" energy. The odor had become impossible to ignore, and the damp spots in the yard were expanding. This is where things grew ugly. Samantha completely lost control, started screaming that I had intentionally sabotaged her party, that I'd orchestrated this whole situation. She was calling people from her phone right there in the yard, frantically trying to locate a lawyer who would accept her call on a Saturday. all while standing there in her ruined dress, mascara streaking. Dad's reaction wasn't the calm disappointment I expected. He was furious, both at me and Samantha, started yelling about the immense cost of repairs, how irresponsible everyone was being. He kept oscillating between being angry about the septic system and demanding to know why Samantha had planned such a large party without first inquiring about maintenance issues. Eva recorded some of it on her phone, Samantha yelling about lawsuits and defamation, Dad shouting about property damage, guests swiftly reversing out of the driveway. It was pandemonium. I've received about 30 texts from Samantha since yesterday. They range from legal threats to guilt trips to pure fury. You planned this. My lawyer will hear about this. You've ruined everything, just like your mother, always having to be the victim. Dad's been phoning nonstop too. He's not as philosophical as before, mostly worried about the expense of repair and uttering phrases like, I don't even know whose side I'm supposed to be on here, and you're both behaving like children. He's sleeping at his brother's house because, apparently, Samantha is still too upset to even look at him for not supporting her. The damage is substantial, though. The yard is ruined, the downstairs carpet is destroyed, and the septic system obviously requires replacement. Joseph sent an estimate. It's considerable. Samantha has already posted in our neighborhood Facebook group asking for recommendations for lawyers who handle property damage and intentional emotional distress cases. Eva's been sending updates all day. Apparently, Samantha has called every friend she has, telling them I deliberately sabotaged her party out of envy. She's already had 3 different contractors visit to document the damage for potential legal action. I finally blocked Samantha's number after her last message. You think you're so clever. Just wait. That beach house won't be yours for long once I'm finished with the lawyers. Hope it was worth it. Last update. It's been about a month since the septic tank catastrophe at my coastal home. I wasn't intending to post another update, but enough has unfolded that I wanted to share how things actually progressed. The immediate aftermath was precisely what one would anticipate. Samantha contacted 3 different lawyers, but it quickly faded once they saw Joseph's documented warnings about the septic system. It turns out claims of negligent property ownership don't go far when you organize an event for 35 people without asking fundamental maintenance questions. The repair expenses were severe, approximately $21,000 for the new septic system, plus another $3,000 for yard restoration and carpet replacement. Insurance covered a portion after my deductible, but it's still a significant drain on my savings. Dad offered to share the costs, which ignited a massive argument between him and Samantha. They're still disputing it. Samantha isn't speaking to me, obviously. She shifted to communicating through passive-aggressive Facebook posts about toxic family members and property damage. Dad is attempting to play peacemaker, which is going about as well as one might expect. He'll call me to discuss repairs or costs, then grow silent when I bring up the dress incident. Last week, he remarked, I know you both did wrong things. Can't we just move past it? Classic Dad, avoiding conflict while trying to keep everyone content. Eva has been caught in the middle. She stays with me some weekends, but Samantha began making remarks about family loyalty, so now Eva is walking on eggshells. She deleted the videos she took at the party after Samantha went through her phone while she was asleep. The beach house repairs are finally complete. The new septic system functions properly. The yard has been restored, and the carpet has been replaced. The cleanup company did an excellent job. You wouldn't know there had been a disaster if you weren't aware of where to look. Here's the strange part. This entire situation has created unexpected ripple effects. My Aunt Madeline isn't speaking to Dad because he wouldn't take a side. 2 of my cousins canceled their usual beach week reservation because they prefer not to get involved. Family gatherings are now awkward, with everyone attempting to schedule around who isn't speaking to whom. Samantha is still living at home, but she's been taking space to heal by spending weekends at her sister's house. She's talking about wanting to move to a larger residence anyway, claiming the current one holds too many negative memories now. Dad just looks weary whenever it comes up. The dress still hangs in my closet. I tried having it professionally restored, but they confirmed the wine damage is permanent. I've started looking at new wedding dress styles online. It's not the same, but I'm endeavoring to concentrate on the future instead of what I've lost. Eva informed me yesterday that Samantha has been checking property listings for beach houses in a different area. Apparently, she's determined to have a do-over anniversary celebration next year, just without certain people involved. Dad stopped by last weekend to inspect the repairs. He walked around the yard, examining everything, then simply stated, Your mom would despise what this house has done to the family. Not precisely the profound moment of realization I think some people were anticipating. The reality is, there's no dramatic conclusion here. No one is divorcing, no one has had an epic revelation, and the family isn't suddenly united in understanding. It's just tense holidays ahead and meticulously planned scheduling to avoid uncomfortable encounters. Edit. To those asking about legal consequences, the lawyers essentially advised everyone should drop it and proceed. No one possesses a strong case either way. Edit 2. Yes, I am still planning to get married at the beach house. Samantha has already declared she won't attend if I do. Dad's stressed about it, but that's a concern for future me.